Well, I wanted to tell a love story. And what I've noticed about love is that oftentimes what gets in the way is how people objectify each other. You know, they put expectations on each other, and they learn those expectations from all kinds of places, whether it's, you know, from their parents, their family, or their friends, or from their church, or from different forms of media. And that kind of fascinates me in particular because I'm into movies and media and stuff. So I thought a love story about a relationship between a guy who watches too much porn and a girl who watches too many romantic Hollywood movies would be hilarious. And that's where it came from.
Well, you know, first of all, he gave me a shot, and I really appreciate it. But he's, you know, he has a very clear vision. I mean, the script, if you read the script, it's, you know, there's a story there, and he's trying to tell, and he has a very clear vision there, and then when he gets on the set, he really knows what he wants, and it makes it easy, I think, for an actor to give him what he wants, because you really know, and then, you know, he coaxes you along. In my case, a lot of it was, no, I like you too much. Still,
he's so lovable. You can't help but see Tony on the screen and smile because he's just got such a warmth that beams out of him. But the character, my pleasure, Tony. But the character in the movie is not so likable a guy, and so I kept having to tell Tony, like, no, I like you too much. You have to be meaner. You have to be worse.
He actually, when we talked at first, he says, "Hey, Tony, you think I can play Italian?" And I said, "Yes, what's wrong with you guys? You could do anything, you rotten kid." You know, so, but I mean, he was thinking about that. I mean, you know.
But I think that's an archetype that's just quintessentially American. I mean, it does come from the East Coast, but it's beyond that, you know, like, and it's, you know, whether you're talking about Rocky or Saturday Night Fever or, you know, all the way back to, you know, the old film noirs, that character, that tough guy, that machismo, is a classic American archetype. Well, the biggest challenge in this whole process was writing it because I was alone. And when you're alone, you know, the self-doubt can creep in and you have these demons on your shoulder saying, like, no one's going to take you seriously and you should just give up now. And but then once I finally got a first draft done, the first person I asked to read it was Rian Johnson, who wrote and directed Looper and Brick. And once he told me that he thought it was good, and he said, you know, I think you really have something here, it got easier from there. I mean, it was still a ton of hard work, but the demons went away. You know, I was really lucky, and it's out of the ordinary, but I got my first choice for every role. Every role in this movie. Scarlett was who I had in mind. Julie's one of my favorite actresses of all time. And Tony's, like, totally the perfect guy and my first choice to play this part. And they all came and brought so much to it. You know, I was recently going back and looking at the script after having made the movie. And we stuck pretty close, relatively close, but the actors brought so many little nuances and things to the scenes that weren't there on the page. I'm so grateful for them.
And the one thing that, you know, the fact that he got his first choices, and not to mention Anne Hathaway and Tatum Channing, it says something about him and about the, not only he's a good guy, he's always been a good guy, but also about the faith that people put in him, that they're willing to put themselves out there and put themselves in his hands.